Yin, where we deal Sunday through Wednesday with Pirkei Avos and Thursday with Parshas Shavua. This week's Parsha is Parshas Shoftim, and in the Parsha, amongst the amazing things that are taught us in the Parsha, we have a section that deals with Kiseitze L'Milchama, that when you go out to war with your enemies, you prepare yourself ready, and then when you get close and ready for the war, so then the Kohen gives a speech to the nation. And he says to the nation, Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel, Atem krev mayom l'milchama, krev mayom l'milchama alevechem. You're getting close today to war on your enemies. Don't be afraid. Don't feel despondent. Don't lose courage, because know that Hashem is with you. And the Kohen uses specifically the words Shema Yisrael. And we wonder why the word Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel. There are many ways that he could have gotten their attention. Rashi says that specifically use the word Shema Yisrael because afilu ein bachem zechus ela kriya shema bilvad, that even if the only merit that you have is kriya shema, kedayatem she'oshiaschem, that will make you worthwhile to be saved. That there's something about the zechus, the merit of Shema Yisrael that you recite every day, of those words Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, that are going to be the Shemira, the guardian, that are going to protect you, and they're going to be the things that are going to make it that you're going to be successful in the war. That if you have no other zchus, no other merit, nothing else going for you, other than just the recitation of the Shema Yisrael, understand that those words are going to be the words that are going to protect you. But what's so powerful about those words? It's one of the mitzvahs of the Torah to say Shema every day. It's one of the important psukim in the Torah. But why does it seem to be the most powerful and important pasuk that is going to be the basis of the Shemira, the protection of the Jewish people in war? There's a famous Gemara in Sanhedrin that the Gemara says that there was a child that was suffering from, during a time when the Jewish people were suffering from a tremendous famine. His body was distended, and he was dealing with idols and seemed to have been involved in idolatry. And Eliyahu Novi came to this child and said to him, if I teach you something to say every single day that is going to protect you, would you say it? And Eliyahu Novi teaches the child to say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. What was Eliyahu Novi's message? That this is going to be the thing that's going to protect you, this is going to be the thing that's going to take care of you, it's going to watch over you. What exactly was Eliyahu Novi telling this child? So to understand all of this, we need to understand the Gemara in Pesachim, with a very famous incident where Yaakov Avinu was on his deathbed, and he wanted to reveal the end of time to his children. And he couldn't get any reception. He couldn't get prophecy. He couldn't get that information, that knowledge that he wanted to pass over to his children. And he assumed that it was because there was some kind of problem with his children, and that maybe that there was a belief problem, an emunah problem. And he turned to his children. He said to them, do you believe in God? And his children turned back to their father and they say, Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel. Hear us, Yaakov Avinu. Hear us, Yaakov, our father. Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. Now, rabbis point out that it's a strange way of responding to Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov just asked them, do you believe in God? And they turn to Yaakov and they say, here, Yaakov. They were having a conversation with Yaakov. They were having a conversation with Yisrael. There was no reason to say Shema Yisrael. Just answer his question. His question was, do you believe in God? Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. That's all they had to say. The Lord our God, the Lord is one. Why did they have to add in those words, Shema Yisrael, or hear, O Israel? Listen, our father, listen, Yaakov. So our rabbis explained very beautifully that there are two reasons why we are committed to the unity of Hashem. What the children were saying to their father was that, Dad, we're continuing your legacy. And that the reason that we believe in Hashem and the reason that we are connected to Hashem is because this was your legacy to us, and that we're taking our place in our people. That we are standing as a link in a chain. We are standing next to you and continuing on your belief. Shema Yisrael. But there's a second reason why we're committed to God. Because Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Because God is our God. We have our own commitment. It's not just that we're committed because we take seriously the concept of legacy, of Misoga. We take seriously the concept of being a link in a chain. We take seriously the concept of continuation and continuing on what you have put into this world. But the reason why we're committed to Hashem is also because we have our own relationship with Him, our own bitachon, our own emunah, our own understanding of Him. And that's exactly what we say every single day. We say, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Shema Yisrael. We take our place amongst those in our past who believed in God, those who had a relationship with God. But it's not just about being connected to our past, but it's also Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, that we have our own relationship, and we have forged and continue to strengthen our own connection to God. We actually say this every day in our davening, that we recognize there are two aspects to the Shema. The first thing that we say after Tachanun, we say a very beautiful tefillah, Shomer Yisrael, O guardian of Israel, Shemor She'eres Yisrael, protect the remnant of the Jewish people. V'al Yovad Yisrael, and don't let the Jewish people be destroyed. Ha'omrim Shema Yisrael, those who proclaim Shema Yisrael. And then the next paragraph, Shomer Goyechad, O the guardian of the unique nation, Shemor She'eres Am Echad, protect the remnant of that unique people. V'al Yovad Goy Echad, and don't let that unique nation be destroyed. Ha'meyachadim Shimcha, that unique nation that proclaims your oneness, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. But how is that different than the first paragraph? The first paragraph said, protect the nation that says Shema Yisrael, and then protect the nation that says Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, because there are two aspects. There is the aspect of history. There is the aspect of standing with my history behind me, supporting me, building me up, giving me that strength. But there is the aspect of me standing on my own 2 feet and recognizing Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. And those are the two commitments that we make every single day. A commitment to our past and a commitment to our present and our future. And that's what Eliyahu and Ravi was telling this boy. You want to have the ability to be able to survive after everything else has been wiped out? You have to keep alive the legacy of the past. Because if you think that it all began with you, if you think it's just about you and what you have and what you believe in, you won't have the strength. You won't have the strength to be able to withstand your enemies. You won't have the strength to be able to stand up against adversity. You won't have the strength to be able to keep yourselves committed. And that's why the Kohen stands up in front of the Jewish people and says to the Jewish people, Shema Yisrael. And as Rashi says, that even if you only have the schus of Shema Yisrael, if you want to win the war, even if that's all you have, is your commitment to your past and your commitment to your own beliefs and the strength of your own convictions and commitments, if you have a sense of God and a sense of the thousands of years of Jewish faith and power that are standing behind you, on that merit alone, you will be successful. When you stand in war, you stand in the most vulnerable of moments, and then you call out Shema Yisrael, and you say, my father Yaakov, I'm committed to your legacy, the legacy of my Zayda, the legacy of my Elter Zayda, the legacy of every generation back to Yaakov Avinu. And then when I'm standing there on the battlefield, I'm standing not as a person alone. I'm not standing in my own seclusion, but I'm standing with thousands of generations behind me, supporting me, giving me strength. I'm standing not as one individual, but I'm standing as a part of a powerful nation. We live in a battlefield. Every single day we go to war. Every single day we're challenged, and we have to battle against evil. We have to battle against our own selves. We have to battle against our weaknesses. We have to battle against those things that drag us down and drag us away from our commitment to truth and our commitment to God. And sometimes when we stand in battle, it feels so lonely that we're the only ones who are fighting this battle. We're the only ones who are challenged. We're the only ones who want to grow and want to get a little more out of this and want to uplift ourselves a little bit, who want to make ourselves into finer people, who want to make ourselves into finer Jews. And we feel like we're standing alone. Shema Yisrael instructs the Torah. Hear, O Israel, O Yaakov Avinu, I'm connected all the way back to you. And when I look behind me over my shoulder, I see millions of Jews behind me. And I realize that I'm not standing alone and that I'm not operating in a vacuum. Sometimes my commitment, Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, I'm totally committed to that. But it weakens because it feels like it's just me. Shema Yisrael, you're not alone. You're part of a huge nation. You're part of a beautiful people. And that's what we need to reinvigorate in ourselves every single day. And maybe this Parsha is almost always read at the very beginning of the month of Elul. Because this Parsha is reminding us that during this month of preparation, during this month of build-up for Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, for the Yomim Noroyim, it sometimes feels so difficult to move ourselves, so difficult to elevate ourselves. But when we look back and we realize we have the power of so many generations and so many committed Jews and so much beauty and so much sanctity and so much holiness, that gives us the strength to be able to lift ourselves up and say, I'm part of this people. I'm part of this legacy. I too can live up to my potential. And I too can accomplish something amazing. just like my parents and my grandparents and generations before me have done, I can do it also. And every single day, when we close our eyes and we put ourselves into the darkest of moments, we put ourselves into the place of total vulnerability, and we call out those words in the darkness. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. I believe in you, God. I'm connected to you, God. But I'm also connected to my people. I'm also connected to my past. I'm also one responsible for carrying that torch on and to illuminate the world for the next generation. And every day when I say those words, it gives me the strength, not just in the knowledge of the recommitment of my own connection to God, but to take on the responsibility of ensuring the continuation of the legacy of my people and of ensuring the continuation and continuity of the Jewish nation. Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad. Everyone should have the most beautiful and wonderful day, a most beautiful and wonderful Shabbos. And there will also be a Parsha thought, a short message for the Parsha that will be sent out later on today. And Mitzvah Hashem will say everyone, not next Sunday, but next Monday, in the continuation of Chapter 4, Mishnah 4 in Pirkei Avos. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful Shabbos.